Ladies and gentlemen, it's time again for Coon Prairie Ramblers, our fourth section of this show with Luke, the Rebel Without a Clue, KC and the Moonshine Gang, and Melman. Yes, we're ready to go.
It is that time for that very popular segment that everybody seems to skip to and listen to that one first before the other three. So we're going to drop it on you right now. It is called the If Bomb.
Here it comes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought you was going to break into the bird.
The bird is bird, the bird. Song is a nerd.
And what is our If bird? Our If bird.
Oh, we're going to do the If bird.
Our if bird.
If that bird comes in here, I'm going to
If that mockingbird don't sing,
That's right.
buy you a diamond
ring. Have mercy.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, y'all are pretty creative today.
Yeah.
The F-bomb is going to be about creativity. What if you got tired of your tired, boring life and decided you wanted to get a little more creative? I mean, not necessarily to make more money, but to just brighten up your own life and the life of those around you. What could and would you do to be a more creative person and therefore probably more popular or else more hated, one way or the other? You got to.
Well, I have a question.
Okay.
Is it too late? Is it ever too late to get more creative?
No, it's not. Grandma Moses was, 80 years old before she ever drew a picture?
She was an old
Painted a, I mean, she was an old
That's
lady.
right.
And then she
Yeah.
I
took
think
off
that's
like
when they called her
crazy.
Grandma Moses.
I think so. I didn't catch on. She
That was
old.
not her real name?
Grandma Moses?
No.
I don't think
I don't
so.
think Grandma was.
Actually, they wouldn't have named a girl
Who named
Moses.
his baby Grandma? Here,
Yeah.
here, you need you to babysit Grandma here.
Yeah, I don't think Moses was her name either.
Well, and then speaking of Moses, he was
He was
80
old
before
geezer.
God
he
decided
was.
to use
Before
him.
that bush caught on fire
Yeah.
and got him going. But what could and would you do to be more creative?
Well,
What would you do? What could you do?
I have always heard that there's got to be all kinds of ways.
Get creative.
Give me one, KC.
I think the number one thing would be to be creative.
That's right.
No, I think to me, the number one thing is don't follow along with everything.
Yeah.
Think creative means you got to think not outside the box.
Okay, my mind is starting to create now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got to swim
Think
against
that
the
there
current.
is no box.
Yeah.
There are no
right.
boundaries. There are no limits. There is nothing there to limit you to what you can or can't do. When you start thinking that there's a box or, I'm going to think outside the box, you're limiting yourself to certain things. So the number one thing is just to remove all those limitations, not lamentations,
Not lamentations.
limitations that other people
Yeah.
have put on you. You know, I used to tell my kids when they were young, you can be anything
Or lamination.
that you want to. And I'd say there are limits.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my sons is, almost 300 pounds and 6'4". I said, you're never going to be a famous skateboarder.
I think that's out. Yeah.
Yeah,
For him.
you know, and really, you got to think there are certain things that are going to stop you.
You gotta know
from
what-
being what you're going to be. I said, you're never going to be a bull rider when you're that big, or a jockey. You'll never
bull
win
mile
the-
ride,
You'll never win the Kentucky Derby. All kidding aside, in your mind and the creativity, though, that's where you're limiting yourself. We all are. So
Right.
but there's ways to break out of that.
Yeah.
Sure, you look around and see what do you have to work with that you can be creative with, and then once you've used all that up, you look around and say, well, what else is within reaching distance that I could be more creative with? Shouldn't be afraid to try different things.
And, you know, you hear so many people every day that always say, oh, I wish I could play a guitar like Luke Wilson, or I wish I could play a guitar like Jimi Hendrix. Well, you're never going to do it if you don't try. And I don't mean go to the bedroom one day and try to
Yeah.
do it to your finger.
That's right.
Do it till you got calluses on your finger. Don't tell me in a week, oh, I can't play. You got to put some time and effort in it. You got to try.
That's right. You got to do it till you're sick of it.
A lot of the difference between people that can do creative things like painting, you know, a lot of things come natural to some people. I mean, I know people that just pick up a guitar and play it. I know people, my mother started playing the piano and just played it. Steve Coker just played the piano by ear. A lot of people just have a gift. But I think we're all able to do a lot of things. I think we could all write stories or, you know, you wrote a book.
That's exactly right.
Speaking to Bill, man.
Yeah.
That's creative right there.
You know, and Luke, is a very good artist and guitar player, singer.
You know,
And me, I have no real talent.
Well, you have
I think if I
talent.
do have any kind of talent, I think I have a pretty good sixth sense of humor.
Sixth sense of humor. Well, somebody's got to have one.
Yeah.
Sort of warped.
Well, I always found my problem was in getting kick-started. You know, like when I wrote a book or wrote an article for the paper, I couldn't do it until I wrote a couple words down or a sentence.
Right.
And maybe I've never even used that sentence, but I sat there and looked at it, and then said, "Oh, well, wait a minute, I need to rewrite that." And then that becomes two sentences, and
That can drive you crazy if you're not careful. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're going to write, you need to make notes ahead of time, something to refer back to.
and that was always my
You
problem.
can't sit down and just start writing from A to Z or whatever. You'll leave things out, and you'll meander a lot, like we do on the radio here. You got to have a goal that you're aiming for. Then you know what direction you're going in. Work from notes is what you need.
So
And it's
this
gotta
is
be
what I'm
fun.
going to do.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to start making a list.
And he's holding
Here
up
you
a
go.
pad right now, even as we speak.
My list, the
And there's
first
two.
thing is, and I've already done it, make a list.
Make a list.
Second
gotta
thing is,
Take notes.
take notes.
Take.
Well, he's off to
I'm off to a start.
he's off to the races, ain't he?
So I have started, and I'm going to do this.
Right.
I'm going to start writing down things. I'm going to tell you, I come up with ideas a lot, and then within a matter of minutes,
It's
sometimes
gone.
It's gone.
If you don't write it down,
It's like a summer breeze. It just float, or a summer dream. They just float away, and I don't know where they went.
it's always been that way. Even though I'm getting older and more forgetful. Even
so
back in the day, if I didn't
I'm
write
gonna
it
start
down.
doing. I'm going to start carrying it.
Well, I'm just
small
taking a guess at this. Does it have to be fun? I mean, I would think it would have to be fun.
No,
No.
Well, you don't want to do something that you hate.
you don't want to do drudgery, but I don't think
Yeah.
it has to be fun. I'm sure that a lot of tortured souls had some great creativity.
Yeah.
Just think about Edgar Allan Poe. I don't think he ever had much fun.
Yeah.
No, you can look at his stuff and
Yeah, he was
see how
pretty
that
dark,
is.
you know, and one of my favorites, but he was a pretty dark dude, you know, and I don't mean dark complected. I mean, his mind,
Yeah.
he was a tortured soul.
Yeah.
That's right.
And but I don't think you have to have fun. It'd be great if you did have fun with what you're doing. I think people like Stephen King. I don't think he's having fun writing books.
I don't know, but
You know, his first book that he got famous for was Carrie,
Carrie, yes,
and he wrote it, had a manuscript, and didn't like it. Threw it in the trash.
he did.
His wife picked it up and read it. Said, "Stephen, you got something here." And then he give it another chance, submitted it, and the rest is history. We got, you know, Stephen King, one of the more famous
Yeah.
contemporary writers that we know of right now.
Right.
And he was ready to throw away his big chance.
If he'd have gauged his career by that and,
Right.
and he'd never been dug out of the
If it had
trash,
been for the fact
we'd
that he-
never heard of Stephen King.
Are the writers? Are you ever tortured? You know, I remember John Longhorn at the paper, and he mentioned to me one time. I was sitting there watching him do his work, and he's saying, "I'm just feeding the beast," or beating. You know, like that. It had to be in by 3 o'clock. Or I mean, it was kind of like he was indicating to me that it was kind of like this is the torture part.
The deadlines is what drives you
Yeah.
to think it's to fight it, or it's fighting you. If you're just sitting back writing a book, you can take as long
Yeah.
as you want. But if you're working for the newspaper like John was, you got a deadline by 5 o'clock. Or
So whatever you're doing,
Well, you'd have that same.
I'm
constraint.
going to go home today and write a column for the paper. I haven't done that for this week yet.
So you generally
I'm under the gun.
wait till you're kind of pushed a little bit.
Right, I work better under the gun than back to the wall.
Yeah.
I think. Give me the 2-minute drill.
And I used to be that way in my work, which
Right.
it probably shouldn't have
It
been.
was bad work ethic.
But I was. If I had to have something done by Friday at 5 o'clock, I would wait till Friday morning at least to
Right.
get started on it.
Right.
I figured, why waste a week? But I usually did a good job at it. But I put it off as long as I could.
And if you do it early, you got time to tweak it. Once in a while, I'll do something way ahead of time. I'm like, wow, that feels pretty good. I should do this more often. But then I don't.
I always found that I was most productive at 5 o'clock when it was time to get off. And so I ended up working late.
Really?
Because during the day, from the time I got there, it seemed like I always frittered away my time and piddled with this and piddled with that. And then it got down to the time, I was like, man, I got to get something done here. And all of a sudden it started clicking. Boom, boom,
Because
boom.
you know you have to then.
Yeah.
I would imagine that for most people in a workplace office scenario, the last 15 minutes of work, nothing gets done.
Who you telling?
Get ready to go home. That's it.
Oh no, I
for you, but-
would end up working till 7 o'clock, and my wife would have to call me and said, "Are you coming home?" You know,
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm really going
you
good
get
now.
paid by the hour.
No, well, yeah, I was.
that's why you
that
did
was,
that.
No, I was.
It was
No, I was
ulterior
sour.
motive.
I don't know why I did that. Yeah, it's just, but I couldn't seem to really get clicking until. Anyway, so it's got to be fun, or
It should be.
should be fun. Yeah.
It'd be nice if
Something
it
you enjoy. Or something
Make
that you
lists.
see brings joy to others.
Yeah, that you want to do. Now, I guess if I have a talent of creativity, I would say it's photography, maybe.
You do have a gift there.
And
And you enjoy it.
I enjoy it. And I enjoy when you bring joy to other people through that.
That's
It's
right.
just like cooking. I guess my other talent is cooking.
Barbecuing, yeah.
I love to make someone else happy. I like to
right.
see that, oh man, look on her face.
That's exactly
I like
right.
it when I show somebody a picture, or whenever, I like if you put something on Facebook in a picture and people enjoy it, I get a lot of self-satisfaction
That's right.
from that. And I would say that if I have a creative outlet, that would be my photography and my cooking.
Right. But you can't be afraid to fail. If you do that, you'll never, I don't want to say you never fulfill the potential that's there.
And you see a lot of people that say, oh, I could never do that.
But they
And
don't know.
Maybe they can.
They don't
maybe
know.
They can.
They may do something in that same field, but put their own twist on it, and that's what makes that more interesting,
And-
not copying somebody.
Exactly. And I read a thing one time that said that if only the birds that sang the best were the ones that sang in the woods, what a quiet woods it would be.
Oh, my goodness, I never thought about that. But
And
it
that's
takes
true.
all of them.
All of them together to make that
Make
really
it-
nice
turns it
sound.
into like an orchestra.
It's not because the one bird sings the best, so he's the one that gets to do all the singing.
That's right. That's exactly right. And you can't be afraid of feedback. I mean, as long as it's not malicious. I mean, creative or...
Some people are going to be cruel,
Yeah, some people will.
just to be cruel.
But
Some
sometimes
people-
it's a reality check, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We gotta
maybe
be
they
able-
are. Maybe you think, well, maybe they got a point there. Maybe they
That's
don't.
right.
But don't beat yourself up.
So you
over
got to
it.
be open to criticism.
That's right. Constructive criticism is good for
And I'm
everyone.
always asking my wife for criticism. But
Well, you're
then,
asking for it.
but then I get mad at her because she gave me too much criticism.
She was too
Yeah. You got to know where to tone it down.
And
a
you
little
know,
bit.
I know I'm guilty of this. When somebody asks me for criticism about things, I sugarcoat it.
How do you like that? Does this pants make my behind look big or whatever? Or,
There's no right answer to that.
Or they walk in, how do you like my hair? And you don't know if they're trying to trick you and didn't get a haircut, or that they went out and had a perm or whatever. So you are in trouble, between a rock and a hard place. To start that. We're down to 30 seconds.
that
Oh my
went
goodness,
fast.
that was a fast time. We're going to have to get on out of here. But
Okay, if you want to do something, people, practice, practice, practice.